Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to talk about hyperfixation. And for people who are neurodiverse, let's see if I can pronounce it, it can very much be a way of existing in a lot of our lives where we get hyperfixated on a certain subject. Or sometimes a person. It could be a celebrity or someone who is known to you in your life. And you want to find out anything about that subject or person. And some of it can be because you may be avoiding some other things. At other times, you're just super curious and you want to just dive deep and just really learn more about certain topics, like, how batteries are made and how they work. And I know that's one of the things that I noticed with my son, who is autistic, and he wanted to do a deep dive into how do batteries actually work. And it was beyond what was being taught at that time. And I think it was second or third grade. He's like, I understand that this worksheet is saying a couple sentences about it, but no, I really want to know all the ins and outs of how a battery actually works. Like, what are the chemicals in there? What is the manufacturing process? How did we even find this out in the first place? What different types of batteries are there? And what's on the horizon for them? Like, what is out there? Because batteries are in so many things these days, and we're advancing that tech along quite a bit. But for him, it was really necessary to go way above and beyond what his grade level was in that one particular thing. And I'm sure, how I relate to it is sometimes I do deep dives into movies where I'm like, okay, where did they actually film that? And what camera did they use? Or who is in there, and what actors were in there, and what else have they done? And what years was that filmed in? Because sometimes that really matters because of what else is going on in the world. Will they be back? Are there filming locations that I could visit? So I can go on a pretty big deep dive into things. And I personally love that about myself. I love that I can research and just satisfy my curiosity. Yet it's only certain things that kind of pique my interest, right? It's not everything. I don't go around and deep dive on a recipe very often. That just doesn't intrigue me. I know other people, I will talk to my husband quite a bit about food, and he'll want to know certain techniques or things, but it's not I don't need to know all the details of it, where the recipe came from. But I do dig a little deeper on those things. I'm just trying to think of what's something I really don't dig deep on. For me, it's beauty products. I don't really know the brands. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know names or techniques or colors or any of that. But I do know graphic design and all of those techniques and colors and everything. And you would think things that are adjacent, if I've been doing graphic design for over 20 years, you would think that those skills would then match into art, which then would match into makeup and stuff like that. Why don't I drift into those other things? And I don't think we actually need an explanation. I don't think we need to dig deep and define that. But it's just nice to kind of go, how did I get into this hyperfixation? What was the beginning of it? And is this distracting me from my day-to-day? Are there things I should be doing instead that this hyperfixation is now completely like derailing my day and distracting me from what I really need to do. And I know sometimes when I get really hooked into something, there will be like, okay, I will set that aside for half a day and really do a deep dive. But we have to just be careful of like, as long as we're getting other things done, that we're taking care of our bodies, that we're taking care of getting enough rest, I think is the number one thing for me. When I'm kind of hyperfixated on something, I'm definitely on my screen a whole lot more, to consume more and to learn more and to be able to pull back from that and take a break and monitor my body and make sure that I'm eating and drinking and taking care of myself is kind of like, when you know those are being compromised, it's time to kind of pull up and take a break and know that all that information will be there tomorrow, even though it's really hard because your brain's like, satisfy me now. So I would love to hear about your hyperfixations. Is there something that you keep returning to? Do you have a new one? Is there something that just popped onto your radar that you would love to learn more about and are in the process of doing so? Let me know. My contact info is in the description. So until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.